Today I'm going to show you 5 easy and delicious carnivore soups. I'm Anita from KetogenicWoman.com, where I make keto and carnivore recipes and other cooking ideas that have helped me to lose 145 pounds so far. If you're new here, welcome. I hope you check out some of those other videos. And for those of you returning viewers, welcome back. I hope you like today's video. Okay, so it's getting cold out there. This morning there was frost on the windows in the cars. It is soup season. And to me, there's nothing like a nice, warm, cozy soup, whether it's for lunch, dinner. I even have it for breakfast sometimes. It is also a great way to use up leftovers and to stay budget friendly because you can use cheaper meats and use crock pots and instant pots, simmering on the stove, all kinds of different ways. So before I make the first soup, which is going to be the second soup that I show you, I want to talk about soup bases. Everything starts with liquid, of course, because we're talking about soup. So in all the recipes that I'm going to talk about today, you can use water only and just add whatever seasonings you're not sensitive to. You can use a clean chicken broth or beef broth, any type of meat broth, whether it's homemade, store-bought. If it's store-bought, watch for ingredients. My favorite way to make all of the soups I'm going to show you is either with my own homemade bone broth or with some meat juices that I have saved, things like beef jello, anything that you pour off meat that you've already made, save it in the fridge in a jar, and you can use that in these soups. Now, if you don't have anything and you are going to use a purchased broth or broth mix, make sure you read the ingredients, check for those hidden carbs, hidden sugars. I usually use my own bone broth, and I'm going to link my bone broth printable recipe card below. So if you're not quite sure how to make bone broth, you can certainly do it yourself. It's super easy. Normally I have them in little cup size, like I freeze them in a muffin cup, then save those muffin cups in a freezer bag, and then I can just take out how many I need. So I ran out of those and I haven't made new bone broth yet. I found this at Whole Foods. It is a bone broth mix for chicken. The only ingredient is dried chicken bone broth. When I first saw it, I thought, oh, perfect. I bought it, I've been using it. But over the last couple of days, it occurred to me, but wait a minute, how do I know what was in the bone broth that they made and then dried to make this? I don't. So see, there's a way that we can, be fooled, I guess. Like, I have no idea really, but I have it now and I'm using it. It hasn't seemed to trigger anything, but I probably won't buy this one again. I save bones in the freezer in bags labeled, beef bones, chicken bones, pork bones, just so I know what's what. And as soon as I have enough, I'll make another batch. Anyways, for today, I'm using this because it's all I have. So before I make the first soup I'm going to show you, I have to say it all started with, for me, it all started with my carnivore hamburger soup. And what you're about to see is a video that was filmed in April of 2021. It was kind of one of my early, I was just starting carnivore in 2021. I was fairly new, didn't really know a lot, but I knew that I could make hamburger soup and that it was delicious. And I ate that a lot back then. It's very budget friendly, and I always used the saved juices. So just gonna watch a few seconds of that clip because the soup I'm about to make builds on that basic recipe. Okay, so now that you've seen that, that is kind of how I started on, this next recipe, which is what I call mixed meat soup. This recipe is perfect for using up all the bits and pieces from your fridge. And it is delicious because you can simmer it. You can use your favorites, you can use leftovers, super budget friendly. Today I'm going to put in a piece of, this is a very thick pork chop, so I'm going to put that in. You know, heck, I'm just going to put the whole thing in because then I've got rid of one plate of leftovers out of my fridge. I'm going to use some ground beef that I made the other day. I'm just going to cut that up and put it in there. That should do it. And in here I have some leftover chuck roast and gravy. So I'm going to take some of the gravy or some of the chuck roast out and just cut it up and put it in my soup. So yep, I've got gravy sticking to it. Maybe I should actually just put this gravy into the soup as well. I might just do that, but first I want to get some of this off. I'm going to save the gravy because I want to make some leftover chuck roast tomorrow for a meal with gravy. So that's all I'm going to take. Now you can use chicken, of course, and you know, anything that you happen to have on hand. I'm also going to chop up a couple of leftover pieces of bacon, and that will be kind of like a topping for the soup. So yeah, I'm just going to make small pieces here. With the pork chops, I like to slice them super thin. They come out so tender in the soup. Some of these pieces are a little bigger than bite size, so I'm just going to cut some of them in half, make them more bite size. And then I got my chuck roast here. The chuck roast, because it was braised for a long time in the oven, once it hits the soup and the soup starts simmering, it's going to fall apart even a little bit more. Got my pot of water here, and I'm literally just going to dump all of this into the pot of water. I mean, you can simmer it first, then put it in, or you can put it in at the beginning like I'm doing. There's no magic formula. This is cooked meat, all of it. So there's nothing that needs to be done. Let's get it all in there. That is about 3 cups of water, and I'm estimating about 1 pound of meat. And I'm going to go to the stove and put in some of my bone broth powder, and we'll cook it up. This is going to be lunch today. Okay, I'm just chopping up the bacon now to put on top once this finishes simmering. Really, it's just a matter of I'm going to work in the bone broth powder. Once this has simmered for a while, I'm going to put half this bacon on top and save the other half for the second meal because this is really 2 servings here. There's a lot of protein in here, which is fantastic. We'll see you when it's ready to serve. Okay, so here's my finished soup. I garnished it with half of those bacon bits that I chopped up. So 1 piece of bacon on top, and this makes an extremely satisfying meal. The other half I'll save for another meal. I hope you're enjoying this video about the carnivore soups. There's more to come, but first I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, which is Element. Element is a very delicious electrolyte drink that I've been using for a couple of years now for my leg cramps. It comes in many flavors now. There's new flavors too. Chocolate caramel, for those of you that like it, is a regular flavor now, so you can get a box of that. It also comes in a raw, unflavored version, and this is also very good to add to a hot drink with maybe just some lemon. Like, that's how I like it. And so you're basically just having hot water, lemon, and electrolytes. Quite delicious. This is coffee optional. I know a lot of people add it to their coffee, but if you're not drinking coffee, you can add these chocolate versions to hot water as well. Element also has a science-backed formula of 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium. Right now, Element is offering to my subscribers this 8-flavor sample pack. This will be automatically added to your cart when you place an order using my link, which is drinkelement.com element.com/ketogenic woman. That's DRINKLMNT.com/ketogenic woman. The link will be down below for you to click on. You'll also see it on the screen. Thank you, Element, for being the sponsor of this video today. So the next two soups that I want to talk about, I don't have videos for, and I haven't made them, and I'm just going to tell you about them and where to find them and where to get the printable recipe card. They are something that I used to make a lot, and I just haven't made them lately. But at this time of year, I think you'll really like them. Chicken noodle soup. And the noodles, that's one of them. The noodles are made from any of my noodles. I've got 5, 6, 7 different types of protein noodles out there. I am going to link below the printable recipe card for the chicken noodle soup, as well as a meal prep video where I've made them before. You'll see how delicious it looks, and it really is good in the winter time, and it's good for people who are sick. You could also use turkey in there. Thanksgiving's coming up, and so turkey noodle soup is pretty good at this time of year as well. And the other one, and I'll show you a picture, and before you judge, you have to try this soup, because so many people, I talk about this soup on Facebook or wherever, they go, oh no, can't do that. And then they try it and they think it's delicious. It is chicken gizzard soup. It is so cheap. Those gizzards are like $2 for a big package, packed with protein. You know, it's quite delicious. You can add noodles or not. So I will have those two soups linked below with how to cook them and everything. Lastly, I want to talk about this soup that I've been obsessed with lately. I am obsessed with these pork shumai balls. This recipe is from Alice and Kevin. I'm going to link it below. I have been making this lately and loving it. It is ground pork with shrimp in an egg drop soup, so easy to make. One of the key ingredients is this fish sauce. It is 100% carnivore. There's no extra ingredients in this, and it just makes it have that authentic flavor. It tastes like some of the best soup I used to eat when I was able to go to the Asian noodle restaurants and get my favorite wonton soups and other soups. This totally just captures that flavor and scratches that itch when I feel like having something like that. So I hope that you will give that a try as well. I can hardly wait to eat this. So those are my 5 easy soups. These are my top 5. There are other soups out there for carnivore that you can find. And I have other carnivore soups also on my website. I will link them below. The reason I didn't mention them is because they do have dairy in them. And my favorite one is the bacon cheeseburger soup. I think that anyone who can do dairy should try that soup. They will love it. The other one is my ham and cheese carnivore soup. It has cream, it has cheese. I'm just not doing dairy right now. And so if I had made it, I wouldn't know what to do with the leftovers because I'm not doing dairy. So, but I wanted to tell you about it, and they are good soups, and there are other soups out there that you can try. The ones that I mentioned today are my top 5, and I believe they are the easiest of all of the soups out there to make. And for me, that is what it's all about at this time of year. Not only is it cold and I want to have homemade soups, it is busy because we're getting into holiday season and there's so many things going on. So you want something that's fast, easy, that hopefully you can do in one pan or with leftovers. So thank you for watching today's video, and I'll see you guys on the next video.
I can hardly wait to eat this.